If someone said the words high school girls to you, you would probably think of something like this.
That's so fetch.
You go, Glen Coco.
And on Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Know that this is the pop culture representation of the controversial idea that girls are too mean to each other. But the question is, how real is this stereotype? Are girls always mean to each other? Sometimes, or never at all? Let's find out.
Just like you, we've all attended a school where we've either seen or dealt with bullying. So we can comment on it. Bullying is a serious problem in schools today. Whether physical or emotional, it can cause serious problems to someone's self-esteem or happiness.
If these 10 muffins were students, 8 of them, 80%, would be bullied by the time that they graduated. If you were one of these muffins, wouldn't you want to know who the greatest threats are?
Right now, somewhere, in some school, a child is being bullied. But the question is, who is bullying them?
Girls are never mean to each other, so the bully must be a guy.
Girls are always mean to each other, so the bully must be a girl.
Girls and boys are equally mean, so it could be anyone.
Now a girl is being bullied because every 7 minutes, one girl is bullied.
Really? Because the University of Georgia reports that 66.7% of highly aggressive bullies are boys, so the bully must have been a boy.
Actually, Caitlin, your statistic was only taken from 620 students, so it's not a large enough sample size to draw conclusions. According to NCEE.org, that boys react more with violence, whereas according to the chart, 54% of girls react with sabotage and verbal abuse.
Most of this abuse happens in the bathrooms. According to the scientific wiki page that I used for my last stat, 43% of girls fear harassment when going into the girls' bathroom. So the meanest bully must be a girl.
That cannot be true. First of all, how did they even find that out? Did they survey every single girl, or just in a certain age group or geographical region? Also, Elizabeth, your source was Wikipedia, which is open edit, which means the person who made that could probably just have been doing that for a hobby with made-up information, whereas my source was a university, so it's definitely credible. Notable scientist Mrs. Schlangen says that 85% of girls do not report bullying because they do not want to perpetuate the cycle of violence nor retaliate because they are so nice.
I agree. Multiple studies done by Pop Science show that as boys age, even if they do report bullying, they're more likely to add to the problem than to solve it, just like in the picture.
Well, Caitlin, how did they know that girls didn't report it if they didn't report it? Also, you got that statistic from the same wiki page that I did, which means you just proved that your argument is not valid. Additionally, Pop Science is not a reliable source. It is covered with pop-ups and ads, proving an unreliable source. Also, it's set up as a blog, which means the information is highly inaccurate and probably modified to fit the author's bias.
I really want to have a girl because a survey I read on Baby Center of 2,116 parents said that most parents prefer girls because they're more in tune to others' emotions, so they act to make other people smile, where boys can be a little aggressive.
Actually, Baby Center is a blog, so it does not provide adequate research to back up its claim, so the statistics could be made up.
Also, 2,116 people aren't nearly enough to make that large of a conclusion from. I want more reliable data before I make a decision whether I want a boy or a girl.
As a matter of fact, it might be better to have a boy, because as you can see on the chart, NCEE.org announces that 85% of women tend to be overly critical, which makes them more unhappy than boys.
Well, how would they know that? When surveying happiness for a large population, the standard deviation for the rate of happiness would be too high to make that type of conclusion. Additionally, the source does not identify their sample size, so the statistic could be distorted. This is your new office. Enjoy your crappy workspace to go with your crappy outfit.
Hey, I 70% of the time in the workplace, but it's still rude.
Where the heck did you get that statistic?
NBEE.org.
You know, just because one source says it doesn't mean it's actually true. I would cross-reference that statistic before I believed it. The statistic could be wrong or not applicable in every situation, because I can't monitor every single time a woman is mean in the workplace. I have got to check my Instagram. I haven't been on like 2 hours.
You know, Allie, you should be more careful because NBEE.org states that 38% of females report being cyberbullied.
Shh, the bully is probably a boy because they are so mean and girls are so nice. Plus, NBEE.org could just be twisting the statistic by not using a large enough sample size, not including all the results of their findings, or just making up numbers to fit their bias.
Not necessarily. I cross-referenced this time. Another resource, hazelden.org, states that girls are mostly bullied by girls online, as this chart shows.
It actually says that girls can be bullied by both boys and girls, so both genders are at fault. You just modified that statistic. You really need to include context before throwing out information like that.
You saw that even though our argument got heated, we weren't just being mean.
We critically analyzed our data and our sources instead of just attacking.
It doesn't matter if the bully is a boy or a girl. It should never happen.
Just remember, in our society today, bullying is a real problem. And whether the bully is a boy or a girl, it is never okay to be silent and just let it happen.
Report bullying. Don't let yourself or others be victimized.
According to Yale University, a bullied student is 2 to 9 times more likely to commit suicide. So if you speak out, you could be saving a life.
Got this, Kyle!
Oh, okay.